Hello everyone! Welcome sa aming educational podcast where we talk about topics related to education and learning. By the way, I am Joshua and magsasama natin ngayon si Teacher Johnny and si Teacher Bon.
In today's episode, pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa criteria and choosing applicant assessment tools, different types of assessment, rubrics, and the role of ICT and assessment.
Isa sa mga challenges ng beginning teachers ay pagpili ng assessment tools na babagay sa needs ng learners.
Tama! Mas mahirap ito para sa mga bagong teachers dahil kailangan nilang isipin ang mga lesson goals habang na-adjust din nila ang teaching based sa students' needs.
Unlike experienced teacher, mas sanay na kasi sila sa paggamit ng iba't-ibang assessment methods inside the classroom.
So teachers can use either direct methods or indirect methods as assessment.
Kapag sinabi natin direct methods, ito yung mga assessment kung saan directly nakikita o nasusukat ang student performance.
So, example nito ay examination, written assessment, oral presentation, performing tests, capstone projects, thesis, and dissertations.
Halimbawa, kung oral presentation ang activity, directly makikita ng teacher ang communication skills ng mga students.
On the other hand, indirect methods naman provides additional information about student learning.
Kasama dito ang student satisfaction surveys, self interviews, reflective essays, student participation rates, alumni surveys, placement data after graduation.
So these methods help teachers understand kung ano ang experiences at opinions ng students tungkol sa kanilang mga learning.
Sa pagpili ng assessment tools, may important characteristics na dapat i-consider.
First, dapat nasusukat nito ang desired level of performance with student achievement, productivity, and efficiency.
Second, dapat cost-effective siya in terms of time, effort, and money.
Third, dapat useful ang results para makatulong sa pag-improve ng teaching and learning process.
Dapat din accurate, truthful, dependable, at consistent ang result over time.
And lastly, assessment should be ongoing. Hindi siya one-time process na.
Another important assessment tool is the rubric.
A rubric is a set of criteria used para mag-score ng assignment, project, speeches, performances, at even teaching points.
The main purpose nito is to assess students' performance fairly and clearly.
May dalawang types of rubrics. We have analytic and holistic.
Sa analytic rubric, bawat teaching learning sequences score, halimbawa, hiwalay ang grading sa content, creativity, and presentation.
When sa holistic rubric naman, overall quality ng work ang binibigyan ng score ng teachers.
May iba't ibang types rin of assessment.
First is formative assessment. Ito yung ginagawa habang nag-learning pa ang student para mabigyan agad ng feedback.
Second is summative assessment, which happens after learning, tulad ng final exams and major credits. It is very crucial for teachers and students.
Tama?
Third is diagnostic assessment. Ginagamit ito para malaman ang strengths, weaknesses, and misconceptions ng students bago magsimula ang lesson.
And lastly, authentic assessment, kung saan ang real-life activities ay ginagamit para masukat ang learning.
Malaki rin ang role ng ICT sa assessment.
With ICT, mas madaling ma-record, ma-store, at ma-retrieve ng teachers ang student scores and information.
Teachers can also give immediate feedback, gamit ang online quizzes and digital platforms.
Marami na rin free applications and websites where teachers can create electronic quizzes and activities. Like you can use a report and survey mode.
So, to summarize, importante ang pagpili ng tamang assessment tools para maging effective ang teaching and learning classes.
Dapat accurate, useful, fair, and appropriate ang assessment para sa needs ng student.
Also, assessments, rubrics, and ICT help teachers with initial learning that will improve student performance. Kayo mga teacher, how was the experience using assessment in your teaching?
Ako, nung una pa lang, nung magbaguhan pa lang ako, fresh grad, mas nahirapan ako kasi hindi ko pa alam yung mga gagamitin kong tools, kung paano pa i-assess yung bata gamit yung mga makabagong teknolohiya. Pero nung tumagal, sa 4 na taon ko na pagtuturo, mas marami akong na-discover na mga tools na pwedeng gamitin at ngayon na-master ko na kung paano gamitin ang mga yun.
Tama ka, Teacher Bon. Noong una, nahirapan din ako sa pagpili or pagturo sa aking mga estudyante. Dahil hindi ko pa alam yung mga iba't ibang assessment tool na gagamitin ko. Pero nung mga ilang taon na pagtuturo ko ay unti-unti ko ito natutunan at nagamit ko ito sa pagturo sa aking mga estudyante.
Yeah, exactly, Teacher Bon and Teacher Jamie. You know what? There are a lot of technological tools that we can integrate in our assessment. Like, we can use what I have said earlier, yung Google Form. We can use it to put our quiz and also yung Survey Monkey. They are very convenient and easy para sa ating mga teachers and also sa ating mga students because it is easy to access. Have you ever used that?
Ako, na-try ko na rin ng gamitin at very effective talaga siya kasi ang bilis ng feedback at makikita mo agad yung mga result ng student.
Yes, very
Yes.
good. How about you, Teacher Bon?
Ako rin, nagamit ko rin naman yun, ng mga ano. Pero ako ngayon, mas naghahanap pa ako ng ibang mga tools na pwedeng gamitin maliban doon sa Google Forms.
You know what, mga teachers, in terms of rubrics naman, I prefer to use a analytic rubrics para kasi ma-score ko yung mga details na mga ginagawa ng mga student compare sa mga holistic. Because I don't like to give them a score generally, but I want to give them a specific scores to see kung yung mga ginagawa nila ay tama o ayun.
Tama naman yun, Teacher Joshua. Pero as a teacher, meron tayong iba't ibang paraan sa pag-a-assess ng performance ng ating student. May iba't ibang rubrics tayong ginagamit.
Tama. Ako kasi, as a teacher, depende pa rin sa pinapagawa ko sa student kung gagamitin ko ba yung analytic or holistic na rubric.
Grabe mo, ang laki talaga ng tulong ng ICT when it comes to teaching. Kasi we can utilize a different technological tools to implement or integrate in our discussion. Like for example, we can use a PowerPoint presentation to present our lesson and to present our discussion so that hindi na tayo gagawa ng mga IMs, hindi na tayo mag-take time mag-gugupit ng mga IMs, no? Have you ever felt that, Teacher Jamil?
May punto ka, Teacher Joshua, pero huwag naman natin limitin ang tradisyonal na paraan sa pagturo sa ating mga estudyante. Sila ito ay ating nakabias na nga.
Yes, exactly, Teacher Jamil. You nailed it. Because dyan tayo galing, kaya dapat natin ito pag-ibigin. And overall, to summarize our educational podcast, we need to remember that assessment needs to integrate with technology so that para maging madali yung ating pagtutulong sa ating mga kabataan, sa ating mga estudyante. Do you agree with me, Teacher Bon and Teacher
Tama
Jamil?
ba, Teacher
Yeah.
Joshua?
Yes, that exactly.
Yes.
And that ends our educational podcast. I am Teacher Joshua.
And I am Teacher Jaman.
And I'm Teacher Bon.
I hope na may na-learn kayo sa aming na-discuss ngayong araw na ito.
Yes.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.